There's a moment she never expects. The moment you stop trying. Not when you argue, not when you pull away, but when your effort dies quietly. That silence triggers something in her brain she can't control, and once it starts, she'll chase the very thing she used to ignore. It usually starts quietly, not with a breakup, not with a fight, just you trying a little too hard, trying to keep something alive that she stopped watering months ago, and you hate admitting that, even to yourself. If this is you, you already felt that shift, that slow drain of energy every time you text first, every time you over-explain something she barely reacts to, every time you tell yourself, maybe she's just busy, even though you know she's not. Maybe this hits closer than you expected, because you've been living in that uncomfortable space, the place where your effort became the only thing holding the relationship together. And you kept pushing, even on days you felt small, even on nights where you stared at your phone like it owed you affection. There's this moment you don't talk about. The moment after you send a long message, the kind you rewrite 5 times, and she replies with something that could fit on a post-it note, or worse, nothing. You sit there pretending it doesn't sting, pretending you're above it, pretending you're chill, but it eats at you, quietly, in the back of your mind where the lies you tell yourself go to rot. And late at night, you replay everything. The way her tone changed, the way her eyes stopped lighting up when she saw you, the way your presence became background noise. You wonder if you're the problem, if you weren't enough, if there's something wrong with you that she sensed before you did. But here's the part you've never said out loud. You're tired, not of her, but of trying, and deep down you can feel it. The day you finally stop, something shifts in her, something real, something she can't hide. The real question is, what is it she suddenly sees in you the moment you pull the effort she never appreciated? Listen, I'm not here to hype you up or sell you some fairy tale. I'm talking to you like an older brother who's lived through this mess, tripped over the same mistakes, and learned a few things the hard way. Most men get this situation wrong from the start. They think effort is the currency that buys love. They think if they try harder, explain more, show how loyal they are, she'll finally understand their worth. But here's the truth you don't hear when you're hurting. Trying too much doesn't make her appreciate you. It makes you disappear. You start bending yourself into shapes she never asked for. You laugh a little too quick at her jokes. You agree to things you don't like, just to keep the peace. You check your phone every 5 minutes hoping she answered, even though you pretend you don't really care. You ever been there? Sitting in your car outside her place, hands on the steering wheel, replaying last night's conversation, wondering if you sounded needy, or walking around a grocery store thinking about what snack she likes because you want to surprise her, even though she never does that for you. That's the part men don't admit. They give in ways they would never expect from anyone else, and then they call it love. But a man's value isn't proven by effort. It's proven by presence, by boundaries, by knowing when something you're giving is no longer being received. There's a masculine principle. You need to swallow your worth. Doesn't rise when you beg for recognition. It rises when you stop performing for it. And that's why the day you stop trying, she feels something she didn't feel before. Not panic, not guilt, but clarity. She suddenly sees the difference between a man who chases love and a man who has it within him and chooses where to give it. The second one, that's the man she notices. Always. It happened on a Thursday, not a dramatic day, not a movie moment, just a regular Thursday where the air felt a little heavier than usual. He was sitting on the edge of his bed, phone in his hand, the screen lighting up his face in that cold blue tone. You know that light. The one that makes you look tired, even when you pretended all week you were fine. He had typed a message to her, a long one, explaining, justifying, trying to fix something he didn't break. His thumb hovered over send, and for the first time in months, he felt nothing. No urgency, no panic, just this quiet, almost numb awareness that he had said everything a man could say, and it still wouldn't matter. He deleted the whole thing with one swipe. The screen went blank. The room suddenly felt colder. He leaned back, staring at the ceiling, hearing the faint hum of the fan, that uneven, rattling sound it made when the screws got loose. His mind wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It was just tired. A memory hit him out of nowhere. Her laughing in the car last summer, her feet on the dashboard, sunlight pouring through the windshield. Back when he didn't have to try. Back when she met him halfway without even thinking. He closed his eyes, felt that sting in his chest. Not heartbreak, more like the ache of holding on too long. He didn't text her that day, he didn't call. He didn't check her story the way he usually did. And she noticed. Hours later, her message came in, short, hesitant. "Hey, you okay?" He stared at it for a long time. Not because he didn't know what to say, but because this was the first time as she reached for him in months. And right there, in that quiet room with the fan rattling and the evening light fading, he realized something he never expected. He didn't lose her by trying less. He lost himself by trying too much. And now she was finally feeling the difference. A lot of men walk into this situation with the wrong map. Not because they're stupid, because no one ever taught them what actually happens beneath the surface. One belief that ruins them is this quiet, desperate idea. Vive. If I keep showing her how much I care, eventually she'll see my worth. I've lived that one. Years ago, I kept showing up for a girl who barely showed up for herself. I picked her up from work, listened to every problem, bought small things she mentioned once. And the whole time I thought, she'll understand one day. She didn't, not because she was cruel, but because I wasn't asking for anything. I was only giving. And when a man gives without receiving, something inside him fades. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. Another belief men quietly carry. Trying harder makes me loyal, bow. No, it doesn't. It makes you tired. It turns your heart into a job you're doing overtime for, hoping the boss finally praises you. But love isn't hourly work. I remember sitting in my car once, waiting outside someone's house, rehearsing what I'd say to fix things. My hands were sweating on the steering wheel. My chest felt tight. I thought it was love. Looking back, it was fear. Fear of not being chosen. You don't lose her. You lose your own presence. And then there's the biggest lie. If I stop trying, everything falls apart. But the truth is, things fall apart because trying became the only thing keeping them alive. When you stop, you don't destroy the relationship, you reveal it. It's strange how clarity works. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It shows up in small moments, the way you breathe easier, the way your shoulders relax, the way her messages suddenly feel different when you're not orbiting her. Attention is cheap. Respect is priceless. And the day you finally stop forcing what shouldn't be forced is the day she finally sees what she's been standing in front of this whole time. The 1% headman moves differently. Not louder, not colder, just steadier. Most men panic when they feel her slipping. Their mind starts racing, their chest feels tight, their hands hover over the phone like it's a lifeline. They send long messages, explanations, reassurances, anything to pull her back. But the 1% headman, he doesn't operate from panic. He operates from presence. This is what he understands. Clarity is stronger than effort. When something feels off, he doesn't chase the feeling. He sits with it. He listens to his gut. He trusts the tension instead of drowning it with more trying. There's a night, every man faces it, where she pulls away a little. Most men start thinking, what did I do wrong? How do I fix this? The 1% headman thinks, if this connection is real, it won't collapse because I stop pushing. This is how he leads, with presence, not pressure. He gives space when it's needed, not as a tactic, as a truth. He knows connection can't breathe when he's suffocating it with effort. Picture him sitting in his car after a long day. He picks up his phone, sees her half-hearted message, and instead of trying to force a spark back into something dimming, he takes a slow breath. He chooses patience over panic, strength over noise. He replies simply, honestly, no paragraphs, no emotional gymnastics, Because he understands something most men don't. A woman doesn't realize your worth when you chase her. She realizes it when your silence reveals the weight of your presence. This is what he understands, that his value isn't tied to how much he proves. It's tied to how deeply he knows himself. And when he finally stops trying, not out of anger, but out of inner steadiness, the entire dynamic shifts. She feels the absence of what she took for granted. She hears her own thoughts louder. She notices the calm she never appreciated when it was right in front of her. The 1% headman doesn't win by pushing. He wins by staying centered, by knowing that the day he stops forcing love is the day someone else finally sees the man he's been all along. He was standing at the sink late evening, the kind of dim orange light that makes everything look softer than it really is. Water running. His hands just resting there, not washing anything, not moving. Her last message was still open on his phone. A short reply, cold, polite in that distant way that stings more than anger. He read it once, then again, and something inside him didn't break this time. It just went quiet. A memory flashed. Her leaning into him months ago, laughing at something he said that wasn't even funny. Another memory, him waiting for her outside her building, heartbeat too fast, rehearsing lines he never needed to rehearse. Another, the night he apologized for something he didn't do, just to keep the peace. The water was still running, warm on his fingers, but his chest felt steady, solid. For the first time in a long time, he reached for his phone, the usual reflex, then stopped halfway, not out of strategy, out of clarity. A single whispered truth cut through him. "I'm done shrinking." He turned off the tap. The room got silent in a way that felt final. And in that silence, he felt his own worth come back to him like a weight dropping into place, heavy, grounding, undeniable. He knew she would feel it soon too, not because he wanted her to, but because this was the first moment he chose himself. He doesn't text, he doesn't call, he doesn't bend. The room smells like leftover coffee. The chair creaks when he leans back. Silence presses against the wall, she notices. Not at first, not with words, but in the pause, the way his absence hums louder than any message he ever sent. He walks through his day lighter, breathing deeper, no chasing, no proving, and she feels it, the worth she ignored, the man she thought she could take for granted. The day he stops trying is the day she finally sees him, and he carries that quiet weight forever.